For years, ABC News anchor David Muir has been the epitome of composure. Whether reporting from war zones or delivering nightly headlines with that steady, reassuring voice, he's known for his professionalism, discretion, and polished image. Yet every now and then, life has a way of shaking even the most composed of people. And in David's case, a very unusual situation recently landed him in the spotlight, not for breaking news, but for being the subject of curiosity, especially from his close friend Kelly Ripa. The story didn't start in a newsroom. It began in a far more unexpected place, a quiet lakeside town in upstate New York. David had slipped away from his Manhattan routine, craving fresh air, seclusion, and a chance to reset. Those who know him well, like Kelly, know he's fiercely private and values these escapes. But what David didn't expect was how quickly this particular trip would spiral into a quirky chain of events that even he couldn't keep under wraps. A mysterious disappearance. Kelly first caught wind of something unusual when she realized David hadn't answered her texts for almost a full week. This wasn't like him. While he wasn't one for constant chatter, he was reliable. If Kelly sent him a meme, he'd at least respond with a dry, "huh." If she shot him a question about dinner plans, he'd politely decline with a work excuse. Silence, however, was new territory. "Mark," Kelly said one evening, waving her phone at her husband, Mark Consuelos. "David's ghosting me. Do you think he's okay?" Mark, used to Kelly's tendency to dramatize, shrugged. "Maybe he's on assignment. Or maybe he's just enjoying some peace and quiet. Not everyone has to post their every move." But Kelly couldn't shake it. Something felt off. The unexpected sight. Her instincts weren't wrong. A few days later, social media lit up, not with breaking news, but with grainy snapshots of none other than David Muir. Except he wasn't in his anchor suit. He wasn't even in New York. He was spotted in the small town of Skaneateles, walking down Main Street in cargo shorts, carrying what looked suspiciously like a parrot cage. The image went viral, not because David was recognized, though his strong jawline gave him away, but because of the bizarre accessory. Commenters had questions. Did David secretly own a parrot? Was he rescuing one? Was this some kind of undercover story involving exotic pets? Kelly, of course, immediately saw the photos. She called him. No answer. She called again. Straight to voicemail. Kelly demands answers. By the time David resurfaced, he found himself on the receiving end of a barrage of texts from Kelly. "David, explain the bird. Why are you in cargo shorts? Who are you? If this is for a news story, blink twice." Finally, he called her. Kelly, never one to waste time, dove in. "David, why are you walking around with a parrot? Are you moonlighting as a pirate? Is this a midlife crisis? Talk to me." David laughed, which only made Kelly more suspicious. He explained, in his calm anchor tone, that it was all a misunderstanding. The parrot wasn't his. While visiting friends, he'd been asked to help carry a cage out of a shop. Someone snapped the photo, and suddenly the internet had decided he was the proud owner of a tropical bird. "But you didn't deny it," Kelly pressed. "I didn't know there was anything to deny," he replied. "The real situation." As it turned out, the parrot incident was just the beginning. David revealed that he had, in fact, been in Skaneateles for a very unusual reason. One of his childhood friends had inherited an old house on the lake, and it came with a peculiar stipulation in the will. The new owner had to care for the late uncle's collection of exotic pets until they could be rehomed. The pets included not just parrots but also turtles, snakes, and a very moody iguana. The friend, overwhelmed, called David for help. "So, you mean to tell me," Kelly said slowly, "that the face of ABC News spent his week off wrangling reptiles?" David, trying not to laugh, confirmed. "Yes. And for the record, the iguana did not like me." Kelly erupted into laughter. David Muir, international correspondent, reduced to being hissed at by an iguana. This is the story of the year. Kelly's on-air tease. Kelly, of course, couldn't resist sharing a sanitized version of the tale on Live with Kelly and Mark. Without giving away too many details, she told the audience, "My good friend, who you all know as the most composed man on television, spent his vacation arguing with lizards. "You can't make this up." The audience roared and Mark chimed in. "Did he at least wear the cargo shorts for camouflage?" Kelly winked. "All I'll say is, if you see him trending with a parrot, just know he's fine." The bigger picture. What made this situation so unique wasn't just the comedy of imagining David Muir elbow-deep in reptile food. It was how the usually guarded anchor allowed a glimpse of vulnerability. For once, he wasn't the composed journalist behind the desk. He was just a friend, trying to help, caught in the kind of odd predicament most of us hope never makes it to social media. Kelly, who's known David for years, said the incident reminded her of why their friendship works so well. He's calm where she's excitable, private where she's open, but at the core, both share a love of storytelling, even when the story is about themselves. Lessons in friendship. For David, the situation was a reminder that no matter how careful you are, life has a way of surprising you. For Kelly, it was an opportunity to poke fun while also reminding him that sometimes the best stories aren't the ones you report, but the ones you live. And perhaps most importantly, it reinforced the bond between the two friends. When Kelly asked questions, some teasing, some genuinely curious, it wasn't just about parrots or iguanas. It was about knowing her friend well enough to sense when something unusual was happening and caring enough to dig until she found the truth. Epilogue, the aftermath. Weeks later, David was back behind the anchor desk, suit and tie in place, voice steady as ever. The viral parrot photos faded, replaced by the next internet sensation. But Kelly still teases him about it whenever they talk. "Careful, David," she'll say with a grin. "If you pause too long during the news, people might think the parrot escaped again." David, ever the professional, just smiles. But if you look closely, you might catch the faintest glimmer of amusement, proof that even the most polished anchors have their quirks, and sometimes their friends are the ones who get to pull those quirks into the spotlight.